We have just one ocean. We need to protect that ocean because its life depends on it, and we need to make sure that any use we give to that ocean is sustainable.
During the ISA meetings, Brazil reiterated its view that the current level of knowledge and best available science are not enough to approve any seabed mining projects in the areas beyond national jurisdiction. At this point in time, we should prioritize the protection of the international seabed until conclusive and comprehensive studies referring to the potential environmental impacts of mining activities in the area are available, including loss and damage to marine biodiversity, production of extensive plumes of sediments, metals and toxins that affect marine species and ecosystems, damage to carbon retention in the seabed and its consequences related to climate change, noise pollution due to the activity of industrial machines, and introduction of toxic metals into marine food chains, among others. We currently do not have all the necessary information on the far-reaching effects of mining in the international seabed. If, for example, its impacts to marine biodiversity are severe and irreversible, it would not only render BBNJ ineffective, but it could have serious implications to the health of our oceans. Moreover, even if deep sea mining operations are profitable, they will also raise questions about the equitable sharing of profits resulting from a resource taken out of humanity's common heritage. These claims need to be balanced against the risks. That's why we advocate for a precautionary approach in addressing seabed mining projects in areas beyond national jurisdiction. A precautionary approach does not undermine the development of new markets and technologies, nor the mandate of the authority. It's rather a word of caution to collectively protect the international seabed when scientific knowledge is not ripe. Based on these considerations, the government of Brazil has made further progress since the meeting of the Council in March, in the sense of supporting a precautionary pause in deep sea mining in areas beyond national jurisdiction for a minimum period of 10 years. We are joining other states that are concerned with the protection of the marine environment and its biodiversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction. This position comes without any prejudice to the continuity of discussions and negotiations of the mining code, in good faith and in accordance with the institutional mandate of the International Seabed Authority. It's rather a strong political commitment to the protection of the international seabed and, as such, the protection of the common heritage of humankind.
But we are very grateful indeed to co-host this event alongside Costa Rica, Palau, Brazil, and Deep Sea Conservation Coalition. As this is because as a small island developing state at the very forefront of the climate crisis, including the impacts of climate change on the ocean, we are extremely concerned about the impacts of deep sea mining on the ocean. And Vanuatu ranks amongst the world's most vulnerable countries, and we rely on the ocean for everything, including climate and food security and our health and well-being. And it's in the health and well-being of the ocean where our biggest hope for sustainable development lies, as we are also large ocean states. So that is why we joined the growing international call for a precautionary pause. That is why we signed on to France's partnership for the deep sea. And we are very encouraged to see the growing support for precautionary pause and moratorium. And we acknowledge the recent announcements from a number of member states. And with that, let us just continue to work together in the coming days to ensure, as Ambassador Gina said, to ensure the protection of our one shared global ocean. I thank you.
Our president had witnessed a presentation made by one of the companies, and the explanation given to him before was this was not going to do very much harm or any harm. But when he saw what was actually happening, that they were vacuuming up the seafloor, he very quickly said, there's no way that this won't impact the seafloor and the rest of the biodiversity that surrounds the deep sea. So I think he's been very vocal and a big champion of the ocean. Palau is well known for being a champion of the ocean. We consider ourselves to be ocean people. We are probably one of the most environmentally conscious countries with respect to ocean conservation, and we will continue to be champions of the sea. We rely on it for our tourism, we rely on it for fisheries, for our sustenance, and we think that we have to approach ocean governance as one whole concept, that BBNJ cannot live outside the realm of the ISA. We have to continue to work to piece these treaties and international governing organizations together. One of our main concerns with respect to deep sea mining is that we don't really know yet how these activities will impact the carbon cycle in the deep sea. If we start mining down there, will the deep sea be able to sequester and store carbon? And so in our efforts to solve the climate crisis through the exploitation of minerals, we might be creating a much bigger problem. And that's our position as Palau, is that we take this moratorium or precautionary pause or whatever you want to call it, so that we have enough scientific knowledge to make more informed and educated decisions. So we hope to rally the call for everyone here so that we can continue to act in that vein and honor the commitment to UNCLOS for the to conserve the marine environment.
I'm really happy to be with you here. I'm happy to see familiar faces that I met in Panama. I met also in New York in our common fight to protect the ocean, to protect the deep sea. And I've only 3 words to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the battle. Thank you for also telling to a lot of different society, a lot of different countries that protecting the deep sea is key in our battle for the climate change, but also the loss of biodiversity. It's just like one of the battle of the century to make sure that we still have a livable planet for the next generation. And I'm here for 3 simple things. First of all, explain the position of France. You know that France has said with the voice of the French President Emmanuel Macron in November at the COP27 that we're for a total ban on deep sea mining. So it explains this position. But saying something does not have a lot of consequences if we do not also do the really important work of listening also to other people. So I'm here also to listen, of course, to your voice, but I see here Anne-Sophie Roux from the NGO that we talk quite a lot together on different issues. You can make a round of applause to her. And to listen also to other countries who do not share the same position, but that's really important because I'm a true believer of multilateralism. Sorry, I said it was quite a long flight. Multilateralism, and I think what we have to do right now in the next few months, few years, is to make sure that the number of countries in favor of this precautionary pause is growing, and it's growing thanks to you, thanks to your job, thanks to your work. And I see you remember the powerful speech you made on ocean culture, and that's why for the United Nations Summit in 2025 there will be a key moment on ocean culture. So invited in France in Nice in 2025. Just like a side moment just for you. And I wanted to say something to also conclude what I wanted to tell you briefly, to also thanks the work of all our diplomats, the French ambassador, who had had a complicated job over the last few months explaining the position of France and making sure that the political word are translating into juridical, technical, and also concrete coalition for concrete action to protect the deep sea, to protect the ocean, and protect the biodiversity, and making sure that for the next generation, we have like a healthy ocean. So thank you very much. Thank you for crushing the party, and let's keep doing the good job for the ocean. Thank you. Et rendez-vous en 2025 à Nice with a precautionary pause on deep sea mining, of course.